Harry Kane has scored 73 goals, won the European Golden Shoe, lifted a treble with Bayern, and finally ended his own trophy drought. Yet England still have nothing to show for it. So here's the uncomfortable question. Can Kane really win the Ballon d'Or when the country he captains still can't win the trophy England have waited 60 years for? Or are we unfairly blaming one player for an entire nation's failure? To understand why we're even having this conversation, you have to look at what Harry Kane did during the 2025-26 campaign. Forget the old lazy narratives about him being a one-season wonder or only scoring penalties. What Kane produced in Munich last season was borderline astronomical. 36 goals in the Bundesliga alone, securing his third consecutive Torjägerkanone and netting him his second career European Golden Shoe with 72 points. Leaving Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappé trailing in his wake. Across all competitions for club and country, the man racked up 73 goals and 8 assists in 65 games. Do you know how rare that territory is? In the entire 21st century, only one human being has ever scored more goals in a single professional season, Lionel Messi during his alien 91-goal year in 2011-12. And he didn't do it just by standing on the penalty spot waiting for scraps. At 32 years old, Kane evolved into the ultimate playmaking number 9. He drops into the 10 space, pings 50-yard diagonals onto a sixpence, dictates the tempo of matches, and sees angles that attacking midfielders twice his age dream of spotting. More importantly, let's address the elephant in the room, the curse. For years, the internet trolls had a field day with the Kane trophy joke. Every time Bayern stumbled, the memes wrote themselves. But on May 24, 2026, after dispatching Stuttgart in the DFB Pokal final to seal a domestic treble, Bundesliga, DFB Pokal, and the Super Cup, that narrative was officially put to bed. The curse at club level? Broken, smashed to pieces. But for English football fans, there is a second curse, one that runs much deeper and refuses to die so easily. For most of his career, Harry Kane has been a ghost in Ballon d'Or conversations. His highest finish ever was 10th, achieved back in 2017 and 2018, and again in 2024, before slipping down to 13th in 2025. Individual brilliance, yes, but always outshone by players lifting major international or Champions League trophies. So what changed in 2026? Simple. Everyone else stumbled at the exact right moment. Look at the main rivals. Kylian Mbappé shattered records by becoming the all-time leading goal scorer in World Cup history with 22 goals and bagged 42 for Real Madrid. But France's early tournament exit left a massive trophy-shaped hole in his resume. Ousmane Dembélé and Paris Saint-Germain conquered Europe but lacked the individual output. Then you've got the generation-defining prodigy, Lamine Yamal, who won La Liga with Barcelona and went all the way at the World Cup with Spain at just 19 years old, a staggering achievement that made him a media darling. You've got Rodri, the metronome of Manchester City in Spain, whose tactical dominance and World Cup winner's medal made him the ultimate purist choice. And naturally, everlasting life form Lionel Messi dragged Argentina deep into the tournament at 39 years old while cleaning up in MLS. Yet, when the global journalists and pundits sat down to cast their votes, the sheer weight of Kane's numbers, over 70 goals, a European Golden Shoe, and a domestic treble in Munich, forced him to the front of the queue. As former England international Chris Waddle put it bluntly, if they ignore Harry Kane for the Ballon d'Or this year, the whole voting system is a joke. 25 years, lads. 25 years since an Englishman last lifted that golden ball, Michael Owen, back in 2001. That's not just an individual award anymore, that's a national event. And yet, you cannot talk about Harry Kane in 2026 without talking about the summer in North America. He arrived at the World Cup wearing the armband, carrying the hopes of 50 million people and hunting history. With his group stage strikes, Kane officially surpassed Wayne Rooney and every other mortal to become England's all-time leading goalscorer at World Cups, pushing his overall major tournament tally to 14, placing him 5th all-time in the history of the global game. On paper, he delivered 6 goals during the tournament, but tournament football isn't about paper. It's about scar tissue. On July 15th in Atlanta, the dream died in the semifinals against Argentina. A heartbreaking 2-1 defeat where the machinery of the team stalled when it mattered most. 3 days later, England dusted themselves off for the third-place playoff, a chaotic, breathtaking 6-4 victory over France that secured the bronze medal. It was England's best finish at a World Cup on foreign soil in 60 years. By any objective metric, a bronze medal and a historic goal-scoring record is a roaring success. But standing on that podium in New Jersey, collecting a bronze medal instead of a gold, Harry Kane didn't look like a man celebrating a triumph. He looked like a man trapped in a familiar, agonizing loop. Because let's be honest with each other, this wasn't a one-off bad night in Atlanta. This is a pattern, a cruel, unrelenting pattern that has defined an entire generation of English football. Look back across the timeline. 2018 in Russia, Kane wins the World Cup Golden Boot, England reached the semi-finals, and we all sing "It's Coming Home" before Croatia break our hearts in extra time 2021 at Wembley, Euro 2020. The closest England have ever been to football heaven, a home final against Italy, a penalty shootout that still wakes people up in a cold sweat at 3 a.m. 2022 in Qatar, World Cup quarterfinals against France. Kane steps up to the spot to equalize in the dying minutes and sends it over the bar. One of the loneliest images in the history of the sport, the 2026 in North America. Semifinals, another exit, another summer of what-ifs. At what point does bad luck stop being bad luck and start becoming a permanent fixture of your DNA? This is the psychological burden of wearing the 3 lions. Harry Kane is statistically the greatest goal scorer this country has ever produced. He has broken records that stood for half a century, and yet his international career is destined to be viewed through the prism of the trophies he didn't lift. Why does this keep happening? Why can a man score 73 goals for a club side and look unstoppable, but stutter when the white shirt of England comes on? It comes down to an uncomfortable truth about modern football. Munich builds him up, but Wembley weighs him down. At Bayern, Kane is the sun. The entire tactical universe revolves around his movement. He works week in, week out with world-class teammates who know his blind spots, anticipate his flick-ons, and execute Vincent Kompany's automated patterns of play with German precision. It is a stable, predictable, highly oiled machine. With the national team, it's a completely different sport. International football is chaotic. You get 4 weeks a year with a group of players flying in from 5 different leagues, exhausted from a brutal domestic season, carrying tactical baggage from their respective clubs. There is no time to build organic chemistry, and then there is the psychological, crushing weight of the English media and public. Every single pass, every missed header, every tactical setup is dissected by 20 million armchair managers who haven't forgiven 60 years of hurt. In Munich, winning is an expectation. With England, playing for the national team is a psychological punishment. Kane absorbs that pressure like a sponge. He takes the bullet for the team every single time. But even a titan eventually gets weighed down by the armor. Which brings us back to the ultimate question of the hour. Can you win the Ballon d'Or without a major international trophy for your country? In theory, the Ballon d'Or is an individual award. It's supposed to judge a calendar year of pure, unadulterated footballing excellence, regardless of whether your national team manager sets up in a low block or your teammates forget how to kick a football. If you score 73 goals and drag your club to a treble, you've done your job and then some. If the award goes to Lamine Yamal or Rodri simply because Spain won the World Cup, then let's be honest, stop calling it an individual award. Call it the best player on the best team trophy and be done with it. Yet, historical precedent is a stubborn beast. Voters love a narrative wrapped in a flag. They love a player who scored the winner in a major international final. For Kane to take home the golden ball without an international trophy would require voters to look past the absence of a summer parade and judge him purely on the terrifying, relentless scale of his individual genius. And you know what? That wouldn't be a loophole. That would be the ultimate validation of pure individual greatness. Here's the thing about English football culture. We don't just love winners. In a strange, masochistic way, we love the tragic hero. We love the bloke who carries the burden, takes the criticism on the chin, never complains, never dives, never throws a tantrum on Instagram, and just gets back to work. Look at Bobby Moore. Look at Alan Shearer. Look at David Beckham. Harry Kane fits that lineage to perfection. He is the ultimate professional in an era of TikTok footballers and PR-managed egos. He didn't grow up as a glossy academy darling. He was released by Arsenal as a kid, loaned out to Leyton Orient in Millwall, and told he wouldn't make it. He earned every single inch of his career through sheer unyielding repetition. That is why, despite the lack of a major international trophy, English fans still revere him. We see ourselves in his struggle. We see a man who tried his absolute hardest to climb the mountain, slipped on the final rock every single time, but dusted himself off and started climbing again. Is that a tragedy? Or is it the most human story in modern sport? So, what is the verdict? Can Harry Kane be crowned the best player in the world in a year when England still didn't bring home the trophy? My answer is yes. Because individual greatness cannot be held hostage by the failings of a collective 11. 73 goals, a European golden shoe, and a treble in Munich are not gifts. They are earned monuments of skill and endurance, and yet, I know how it feels. I know why some of you will say that no individual award can ever truly heal the emptiness of another summer without international glory. So I'll leave you with this final thought. If Harry Kane does lift the Ballon d'Or this year, it will be the ultimate, sweet compensation for a generation of heartbreak. But even as he holds that golden ball aloft, somewhere in the back of his mind, he'll know exactly what it's missing, and so will we. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next week.